Hi, friends. My name is Dr. Chinwe Williams. I'm a clinical mental health therapist and author, and I get the privilege of bringing you the verse of the day from Philippians 1:9 through 10, and it reads, "And this is my prayer, that your love may abound more and more in knowledge and depth of insight, so that you may be able to discern what is best and may be pure and blameless for the day of Christ." In this scripture, the Apostle Paul is speaking to the church of Philippi. Paul held a special affection for the Philippians. In fact, he loved them so deeply that he desired to see them to continue to grow in spiritual maturity. When I reflect on this verse, two things come to mind. The first is this idea of our love abounding. The concept of love is so important to God that he emphasizes what it means to love him first, then others. So how can our love for God overflow? Well, it happens through building a personal relationship with God. As we grow closer to God, the more we want to know him. Think about the first time you fell in love. You probably thought about this person, if you're like me, so often that they were the last thing on your mind before you went to bed and the first thing you thought of when you woke up. It may have been hard to picture a life without them. Similarly, the more we know God, the more reasons we find to love God. And that love drives us closer to him. Now, the second part of this verse is about discernment. To discern means to recognize as separate and distinct. In our world today, we are bombarded by information coming from everywhere about how to achieve our goals, how to raise our children, how to raise ourselves. And too much information can feel overwhelming. This scripture reminds us to be discerning, to know who our Father is so intimately that we can recognize the distinct voice of God. Now, you may be facing a lot right now in your world, but I want to encourage you to allow the love of God to overflow in your life so that you may know who he is and what really matters.